Right, good day, grade 11s again, or grade 12s if you're watching. I am going to do the production cost statement, which is actually grade 12 work. Okay, almost there. Right, here we go. Manufacturing production cost statement. Okay, so with the grade 11 work, we're focusing on the ledgers. And you need to know the ledgers whether you're in grade 11 or grade 12. So please make sure that if you're in grade 12, that you first go and make sure that you understand the manufacturing ledger accounts very, very well before you start going through this ledger, through this presentation, where we're going to look at the production cost statement. So the production cost statement is another word for work in progress. Don't make it more complicated than that. It's the same thing. It just looks different. Okay. All right. So here we go. The manufacturing cost statement. Manufacturing cost statement, like all other statements, it's got a who, a what, and a when. It's done for a period. So it's for the year ended, for the month ended, etc., etc. Okay. So they often don't give you the direct material cost straight. So this can be up to about 5 marks. So you can have my opening stock, my purchases minus my closing stock. So a minimum of 4 marks if they don't give you this figure. They sometimes do. So you need to read very carefully what they give you. Okay. So you can start with direct material cost and then by direct labor cost and then show your prime cost. However, I like this method more, where I've got the two prime costs added together, and then I'm adding my factory overheads. Okay, so these are often not done as notes. They're often done on the face of the production cost statement or manufacturing cost statement, same thing. Okay. Then we've got the cost to company for direct material costs. So that's the gross wage plus contribution gives me that figure. And once again, this calculation can be up to 10 marks. So often that is really, really, really important to make sure that you think when you do this. So do you have the hours, the days? Do you have overtime? In other words, do you have normal plus overtime? Please go and look at the grade 10 presentation on the calculation for this again to make sure you don't muck it up. It's really, really, really important that you know how to do this. Okay. Look at the wages journal one particularly. It'll help you with the thinking process. Okay. So that adds together to give you your prime cost. So from prime cost, we're going to add factory overhead. It's got a note. And it looks, the note's the same. The format's the same as the factory overhead ledger. That gives you those three added together, gives you your, just like your work in progress figure. This is the total amount of money spent this year, sorry, let's go back, on manufacturing, the direct cost for the manufacturing. Okay, so that's that amount. Then I add the amount that was in the manufacturing process at the beginning of the year. I subtract the amount that was at the end, and that is my cost of the production of finished goods for this year. Okay, so you must differentiate between cost, total manufacturing cost, and cost of the production of finished goods. So differentiate between those two terms, please. So this figure we are going to use. The factory overhead cost, just like our ledger, indirect labor, indirect material, and any other expense that's involved in the factory only, no assets, costs or expenses only, salaries, insurance, any of those. And once again, they can be quite complicated to calculate. Finished goods. So finished goods, I'm going to have those goods that I finished at the beginning of the year, plus the goods manufactured for this year, minus those which was not given to distribution yet, and that's going to give me the cost of the finished goods for the year. Administration. Right, we're now working towards being able to complete a manufacturer's income statement. So Just like my profit and loss for a manufacturer only has two operating expenses shown separately, the same in my income statement for a manufacturer, you only have two. So that's very important to remember, okay? So sales, so salaries and wages, rent expense, depreciation, sundry accounts, etc., all adds together. Selling and distribution costs, same things. These are often ratios, square footage, so 2 to 5 or 5 to 2, something like that in the ratio application. So once again, the more you do of these examples, the better you'll be able to understand them. Okay. So my income statement for the manufacturer, once again, my who, my what, my when must be taken into account. This cost of sales is subtracted from my sales, which gives me my gross profit. So please remember that must be in brackets. Then I'm going to subtract my other operating costs. So that administrative costs and the distribution costs must be subtracted. That gives me my operating costs. And I'm going to subtract my interest expense, which gives me my net profit for the year. And that's it. That's it, love. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hope it was interesting and hope you make sure you remember this format and study them, please. You need to do approximately 4 activities of these to make sure that you can do it. But you can do either it as an income, as the ledger, or as the manufacturers, a manufacturing cost statement. Okay, right.